Hello everyone, this is Upmanu Dikshit from Team Rubric, and let's talk about something which we haven't talked about like in any of our videos, and this is something different. So this is about Fermat's last theorem. I found this topic quite interesting and thought sharing it. So this is a maths topic, and so this is about a theory or an equation who wasn't proved for almost 350 years in our history, and it pestered mathematicians for about 350 years to even like discover out the first proof for this thing. So it was originally started by Pierre de Fermat. He's a French mathematician. He was part-time mathematician. He was a lawyer also in Toulouse, France, and it's somewhere around 1600s, 1700s, and he was reading a book called Arithmetica by Diophantus. And Diophantus was a very famous Greek mathematician who wrote like all of the theorems which were prominent at that time. So he wrote in his book that the Pythagoras theorem states that x square plus y square equals to z square, which have infinite number of solutions for the power 2, right? So the Pierre de Fermat argued that this could be written in a more general statement that a to the power n plus b to the power n is equal to c to the power n only and only if for all the integer values equating to n less than 2. So that means that in the equation a raised to n plus b raised to n equals to c raised to n is only and only possible if the power or the power n is less than 2 in integer values. It could be fractional or like in real number scale you can have like multiple values, but that it should be less than 2 in integer scale, right? So this was his argument, and he also wrote something which was very controversial at that time. He wrote that I can prove this easily, but the margin, he wrote the statement in the margin in the Arithmetica book of Diophantus. And what he did was actually he wrote that the space in the margin is quite less. I'll quote what he wrote. So Fermat wrote that I have a proof to disprove the said statement, but I don't have enough space in the margin to write it. And as Pierre de Fermat was very respectable in France and Toulouse, or as in general a mathematician, the statement got published in his book, which his son Clement de Fermat published, and mathematicians for over 3 centuries were trying to get the proof that this statement is correct and what Fermat wanted to prove. So this became his last theorem because he didn't contribute much to maths after that. And after 30 years of this statement, he actually died, and the book got published after he died. So till date, no one knows that Fermat knew the proof of this statement that he made, or it was just a conjecture. So in mathematical languages, a conjecture is something where a statement is made, but its proof doesn't exist, but it satisfies all the natural values, but you haven't proved it yet. So it looks that the statement is a theorem or an axiom or a postulate, but you haven't proved it, right? That's why it's called a conjecture. So it's in between. So it looks like in natural eyes or in natural sense the statement is correct, but without a proof, you cannot call it a theorem or a, like, you can call it a postulate or an axiom of mathematics, right? So like for 358 years there are many stories that kings hired mathematicians and learned people all over the world to just prove the Fermat's last theorem, and they made immense wealth, obligations to the people who will solve this last theorem. And people tried, even like prominent mathematicians such as Leonard Euler, some would call him Euler, but like people pronounce him as Euler. So he tried proving it, and he did a successful job in proving it for n to the power 3 for a specific set of primes. Sophie Germain, another prominent name in mathematics, also did a commendable job in finding out this Fermat's last theorem's proof. But major breakthrough came when Ernst Kummer, a mathematician from, I guess, Germany. I don't exactly remember where he was from, but he made a shocking discovery that all the regular primes up to 4 million satisfied the Fermat's last equation, right? So this was a huge discovery, and he made a contribution which later led to the development of Kummer's number theory, which is a huge branch of mathematics inside algebra, inside number theory. And this on this like basing his work and hypothesis, there was a category of primes that was created called regular primes, right? So this Fermat's last theorem led to creation of a whole new set of numbers. That's one of her astonishing things. Then, in around 1955, came two Japanese mathematicians, Tansiyama and Shimura. So, what they did was they made elliptic curves. They used geometry to prove Fermat's last theorem, and using these elliptic curves method, they almost proved it for all the primes except like including the regular primes, but they didn't prove it for non-prime numbers, right? So this conjecture, the new conjecture called the Tansiyama Shimura conjecture, made a shocking discovery that Fermat's theorem is almost proved for all the values of primes, right? The next major breakthrough came in around year 1994, when a British mathematician, Andrew Wiles, he made a study about the Tanziyama and Shimura conjecture, and basing on this study, he found a connection between Fermat's last theorem and the conjecture, or between elliptic curves. After that, dedicating almost a year of study with a very uh, descriptive proof, which he explained in three lectures across 23rd to 25th of some in 1994. And he found that there was one slight mistake that he made in the proof, and he dedicated almost more years of his life in this proof, and this led to the final proof using elliptic curves as a method of Fermat's last theorem. So after almost 358 years after Fermat wrote that statement, the proof was out, and countless mathematicians, including the likes of Leonhard Euler, Carl Friedrich Gauss, and Andrew Wiles, they finally found out the proof for Fermat's last theorem. This is a very interesting story because uh, this led to a lot of discoveries in mathematics and some exceptional discoveries that numbers in the number system, that uh, numbers and powers beyond 2 cannot, like, you cannot have a number beyond power 2 to actually add up to the summation of two numbers with the same power beyond 2. That's one of the um, most epic discoveries in number system mathematics, and this also led to the 2016 Abel Prize. The Abel Prize is basically the Nobel Prize for mathematics, going to Andrew Wiles for his discovery of this Fermat's last theorem's proof. And till date, one thing is sure, that nobody knows that Pierre de Fermat, who made this statement, who made this huge mathematical statement which took 350 years to solve, did actually knew the proof or not. Like, nobody knows. And that's the fun part of mathematics in general, that you never know you do something which would have consequences that might take centuries to cover up and to prove, or to, like, find the result of. And this is the beauty of science and maths in general. So yeah, this was Upmanyu, um, and I hope that you liked it. And if you loved it, then be make sure you follow the platform which this posted on for more such content. Bye bye. See you next time.